I'm Amanda with Love and Soap Studio. In this video, I'm going to show you how to make this amethyst inspired soap. So Brambleberry was nice enough to send me samples of their gemstone collection of fragrance oils, and I wanted to use the amethyst today and make a purple themed soap. So that's what we're going to do. So let's get started. All right, so let me get my gloves and goggles on. And as always, I already have my oils and my lye solution prepared. If you're new to soap making or you just need a little help on how to prepare your oils and lye solution, go to my YouTube channel and click on the Basic Soap Making series. And in that series, I give you very detailed instructions on how to prepare both of those. But to make this video go a little quicker, I've already got all of the oils prepared and the lye solution prepared. And we are going to mix our soap to a very light trace. And I already have my amethyst fragrance oil in my oils. Okay. So everything's in there, my base oils, my lye solution, and my fragrance. So we're just gonna mix to a light trace. Okay, we'll mix it a bit with a stick blender off, just to make sure it's mixed, but this is looking pretty good. All right, so I know that I want a very thin base of like a black pewter rock color, and then I want 3 colors of purple. So I'm not trying to make it look exactly like amethyst, it's just kind of inspired by the colors of amethyst. So this isn't, I wouldn't call this a gemstone soap or anything like that. All right, so for our base, let's pour off a little bit. Just enough to coat the bottom of our container. I think that looks good. And then we'll divide the rest of it between 3 containers that we will color different shades of purple. So you don't have to be precise unless you just want to be. And then you can weigh each one so that you get the same amount, but there's really no reason to do that. We don't need to be too accurate. Okay, so get all that out of there. All right. All right, so I want each of these to be a different shade of purple. So I'm just gonna kind of eyeball some colors. I've got grape nehi. So we're gonna start with that, and I want a super saturated purple color. All right, I'm gonna go with half a teaspoon. So this little scoop I'm using is a quarter. Like I said, I want that really saturated. And then I'm gonna put an 1/8 of a teaspoon in this one, and an 1/8 of a teaspoon in this one. Okay, I'm gonna add some Twilight mica because I'm just trying to get kind of a different hue of purple. So an 1/8 of a teaspoon to this middle one, so that has an 1/8 of a teaspoon of grape nehi and an 1/8 of a teaspoon of Twilight. And I'm going to put just a pinch of Twilight in that one with a little bit of white mica, and then we'll see what that looks like, and then if we need to change anything up, we can. So let's mix these up. Make sure you can see them okay. And I just have this mini mixer I like using. If you want it more saturated, you can definitely add more mica. I think that looks pretty good. If you want to lighten it, you can add some white mica. If you want to darken it, you can add some charcoal. I think I put a little too much twilight in that. I might need to add some more purple, because it's more blue than anything. Okay, so I'm definitely going for more purple. So I kind of missed the mark there. So let's do some more purple. And just kind of add color until you get the color that you like. Sometimes you got to experiment to figure out what you're going for here. All right, so let's mix these. Let's use our stick blender. There we go. Okay, so those were more the shades that I was going for. So definitely more purple. All right. And like I said, in this bottom one, I want this to be kind of a rock color. So I'm going to use this pewter silver and some charcoal. So we'll see what we get with these two combined. The pewter might have too much white in it to really color it too much, but let's see what it looks like. Yeah, that looks good. All right, I think that looks perfect. And I'm going to thicken this up using my stick blender because I want this to be the bottom layer and to support the purple layers. Okay, so let me clear everything out a little bit. We'll get our mold ready because we're going to pour it in that once we thicken it up. All right, so we're just going to get this really, really thick, almost like pasty, where we have to really work to spread it. All right, so that's nice and thick. That's gonna thicken up nicely. So let's pour some of this into the mold. And then I'm actually gonna add some more charcoal and make it darker. That way we kind of have a varied look in the base, kind of like rock. Rock isn't just one single color, so. We're just going to darken it up. I think that's perfect. And then we're just gonna kind of mix this together. And again, it's just so we have just some varied colors in there. And that's kind of our rock crust, if you will. Okay, and we can swirl that around a little bit. Not too much. Okay. So we're going to let that sit and thicken up. And then that way, once we add our purple colors on top, it'll be able to support the layers. So I'm going to go ahead and wash my stick blender off, maybe get this container washed, and then I'll be back in 5 to 8 minutes. Okay, so it's been about, I don't know, maybe 8 minutes. I got some stuff washed, but this is nice and pretty thick, so it's going to support the next layers. These are still really loose because we, didn't mix them as much as the black. And so this is where I have an idea in my head, and I'm not sure it's going to work, but I figured we could experiment and try it out. But I'm thinking I'm going to create some texture with this spoon. And then I have a castor oil glitter mica mixture I'm going to put on it. And then what I'm hoping is that the soap will absorb the castor oil and create little divots in it. So kind of like a geode or something. I have no idea if it's going to work. It might create kind of a gunky mess, but hey, let's give it a try and see what it does. So I was thinking just kind of create some kind of just creating some craters, I guess you could say. No right or wrong there. And then again, this is just castor oil, glitter, and purple mica. So we're gonna see what happens when we do this. And we won't know until we cut it tomorrow if my idea worked. But basically, I'm just kind of pushing a little onto there. And so with castor oil, the soap kind of just pulls it into it. And so if you ever do a mica oil swirl with castor oil, you might have noticed that it creates divots in your soap. So I'm kind of hoping that effect will happen. I don't really know though. We'll just kind of see what happens. So we'll just add a little more here and there. We can't make it a solid row or it will come apart, I think. So we'll just, and it may mix in too much once I pour the next layer. We'll just kind of have to wait and see, I guess. Okay, so now we're going to start layering the colors. And I was thinking we'll go from dark to light, I think. So we're going to bring this next color a little thicker. Although you could just swirl everything on top. I don't think it really matters. And I think I want this more saturated, so I'm going to add some more purple to it, and maybe even just a touch of black to darken it up a little bit. Now let's pour this next layer, and this is our darker purple. And to pour the layer, we're just going to pour over the spatula. That way we don't mess up the mica oil or the dark layer too much. So. Okay. Okay. And then I'm just going to pour the next two, and I don't really care if these are, you know, too fluid or if they kind of fall in, because it'll just be kind of a swirled design, so no biggie. I'm going to actually add more purple to this one because I think it looks too similar to that other one. And maybe even leave it kind of dual toned. That'll be just fine. Kind of gives it a nice effect anyways with the different tones in it. All right, so that looks awesome. And then we're going to take the rest of our castor mix. Now I don't have a lot of it, so hopefully I'll have enough to do something with. And just put some on it here and there. Okay, and then we'll just give that a quick little swirl. Nothing too fancy, just kind of want to break up all those little lines in there. All right, so we'll wait for this to turn dull, and then I'll spray it with alcohol to combat ash, and then after 24 hours, we'll come back, we'll unmold it, and we'll see if our little castor oil divot thing actually worked on the inside. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. For more soap making tutorials, articles, design techniques, and recipes, please visit our website at lovinsoap.com, LOVIN soap.com. We'd also love you to join our Facebook group, Saponification Nation, where soap makers from all over the world come together to talk soap, share their projects, their beautiful photos, and what they're working on. So just go to Facebook, search groups for Saponification Nation, and we should pop up.